Good to see
Hey,
you, my friend.
welcome. We
Thanks so
appreciate
much.
you
I've been
being
having
here.
your food for so many years. It's finally great to come meet you and see where it all got started. Every time we're in Memphis football, I know we have you guys catering, so we look forward to that.
My brother has been doing the catering the press box for many, many years for University of Memphis.
That's
so,
awesome.
Anyway, as everybody knows, one of the most notable things about the Rendezvous is, number one, it's in a basement, in an alley across from the Peabody Hotel in downtown Memphis. So the other thing that people notice is that, let's see, if you can look up high, it's kind of cloudy, is we're always cooking ribs,
right.
And you can smell Rendezvous all over downtown Memphis. This is where we cook all of our ribs, right here in the open.
This is the smoker?
Yeah, we're not open officially, but we're, of course, cooking all day. It really started as an 80-seat tavern, and through the years we've expanded 140 here, and then another 200 and something there, and so right now we seat almost 700 people.
How many ribs do you go through a night?
Well, we do 8,000 pounds a week, but we'll feed 4,000 people a week. Wow. That's in 5 days, which kind of overwhelmed. Yeah. I mean, it didn't start out that way, and it just overwhelms us. My dad was an amazing collector, and what happened is he had a diner. After he got out of World War II and started a diner, and with his brother-in-law, and they really didn't agree on how the business should run, but he couldn't get out of the lease. Said, look, you keep the diner, I'm going to go in the basement, and I'm going to do something. So he cleaned it up, started decorating with his junk that he used to pick up all over downtown Memphis. Wow. And now a lot of this stuff that he's collected is, it's pretty amazing stuff. Some Ivory soap, some Colgate stuff that they don't even have in the corporate collection. We've got, as you walk around, we've got antique toys, antique guns, furniture, art. We have a signed copy of the Memphis Blues by W.C. Handy. So what is my favorite? Okay. In 1964, my dad, the Rolling Stones came to Memphis, and you're not old enough to remember how raggedy they were, but they were pretty raggedy. So when they came down, and my dad, here's a picture of my dad. He's a big, tough Greek guy, and he didn't take crap off anybody. And so he was going to throw them out. And the guy at the Peabody Hotel called up and said, Chuck, the Rolling Stones are coming down. And I think he said something like, I see who they are. I know, And anyway, he got to be kind of buddies with them. They stayed up at night and drank and all that. So every time they toured, they would come to the Rendezvous. So they've been here, 4 or 5 times as a group or individually. And in 1997 or 1999, it was either Mick Jagger or his daughter's birthday, and they rented the whole upstairs and for an exclusive party, and it was pre-cell phones. There were no photos. And in the middle of the event, they got their instruments out. There was a little blues band that was playing, and they played. They actually played the Rendezvous, and nobody would believe us. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, we had this list, and we would tell people, the Rolling Stones played at the Rendezvous, and they say, oh, bullshit, Yeah. And we said, no, they really played. And then someone found a picture on the internet, and
there it is.
There they are. The Rolling Stones upstairs at the Rendezvous. We've catered Air Force One several times. We've fed Presidents Bush, Obama, Bill Clinton, Vice Presidents Gore, Dan Quayle, Walter Mondale, presidential candidates out, just the Prime Minister of Japan was also here, Prince Harry, Prince William. So
that's amazing.
If you'll pardon my name dropping, Peyton, Archie, that's Peyton and Eli. Archie was a great customer of ours. He even claims when he was in college, he used to get his mail down here. He used to hang out so often. 2 of our servers retired a few years ago that had been here 100 years between them, and before them, Big Jack Dyson, who passed away recently, was here 52 years.
Wow.
I guess our average longevity for our servers is probably 25 years.
Bobby, good to see you, man. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right, you got to take me through this.
All right.
Now, what's the saying again?
If you can't take the heat,
get the
hell out of the kitchen.
No, we're going into the kitchen.
All right. Let's go from around this way. And this is where we do all our cooking, basically of everything, from our ribs to chicken breast, chicken dinners, lamb, Only thing we don't base it on cooking is our pulled pork and beef brisket, because it takes 12 to 14 hours to cook them items here. But we use one of what we call one of the best ribs you can buy, which is called a loin back rib. It's not a baby back rib, it's not a spare rib. It's a loin back rib that has enough fat in it to preserve it, to keep it from drying out. And this is where we do all our cooking.
Wow.
Right here.
Now, where do you get these ribs?
We get them out, basically, our ribs are packed in less than an hour.
Okay.
They pack our label to them. We use a special cut rib. It's a 2 3/4 pound slab. We don't want it no more than that and stuff, And we started off on the top. We put them up on the top. And every time we move a slab here, we bring a slab down. It takes us an hour and 30 minutes to cook a slab of rib. And like I said, as long as we cook them, we're always based. This is where we keep our base solution in right here. We always doing this. That's what you see, that sizzling.
Yeah.
See, that creates the smoke to come up, and it helps create the flavor in our ribs.
How much do you do it, though? How many times are you going to baste it?
As many times as you desire to do that, to base.
Look at that.
Yeah, see, that's what it is.
These are going to be good.
Yeah. The temperature in this pit probably gets about 350 to 400 degrees. As long as your charcoals are staying white, that's showing that you're getting the heat. But once that ash turns gray and coal-like, you got to add some more charcoal to it.
Right,
we go through roughly 200 bags of charcoal a week. That's just charcoal alone. They're
awesome.
20-pound bags.
It's getting pretty hot.
Yeah.
You got to close it.
Yeah,
all right. What's in this right here?
It's our pickle juice basting with vinegar and our seasoning. That's what we put in there. Yeah. And you know what he just said? You don't see my hands ain't turning like that. I can do it. I've been doing it for
metal. It's hot.
Yeah. These are the first. See, these two doors right here are the two first original pits that the Rendezvous started off with.
Back in 1948. Wow.
These are the two
doors.
Look
at that.
Yeah.
Hey, how about I'm going to be smelling like Rendezvous the whole rest of the day? People are going to be asking me about this.
You may get you a hot date then smelling like ribs.
No, I don't do that. But I will bring more people to your restaurant, that's for sure. I can't imagine how nuts it is back here trying to get it all
It get crazy. We probably curse each other out more than you ever would think so. Because, it's all about working. You're trying to get orders in and out. Right. And we know that we don't mean them. When you're calling, you got an extra night out there, Holly, give me 4 holes, 1 half. You got the waiters out there on your ass about trying to get the customer served. But that's just the craziness of the Rendezvous.
I mean, my dad didn't have marketing consultants and design consultants and investment bank. I mean,
social media, which is what we're doing now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. I don't know how my dad would have done social media, because he's the kind of guy, if he doesn't like it or he didn't like what you're doing, get your ass out. Yelp 1 star. Here you go. Patty LaBelle, Roy Williams, who's a really good customer. Matter of fact, the 2 national championships he won, the regional finals were in Memphis, and so he thinks of us as kind of a good luck piece, so he does come down. Peyton and Eli, we catered Peyton's 30th birthday, I think, in Indianapolis. So, I mean, he didn't start off cooking ribs. It started off just smoking ham and cheese when he found that old smoker in there. Yeah. And what he did was, and also nobody served ribs. I mean, people serve shoulder sandwiches, but I mean, Memphis is a big barbecue town, and I always defy people to tell me someplace. There may have been someplace that served ribs, but I think we're the first restaurant that served ribs. And I know we're the first restaurant that served loinback ribs, because they were scrap product. But what he was doing was he was trying to smoke all kinds of different things. And a friend of our family said, hey, who was in the food business, we're Greek, of course. Yeah. He brought these ribs and said, why don't you start cooking these? So he's growing them and doing all this. And he'd put, baste them with vinegar and salt, pepper, oregano, and garlic, because Greeks cook everything that way. And they were okay. But then he went to New Orleans and he got into all the chili peppers and the cayenne chili powders and the cayenne peppers and the paprika, all those Cajun seasonings. So when he came back to Memphis, he mixed them together, threw in some extra paprika to give a nice red charcoal color. And so that's the rub that we still use today. We still cook them the same.
And you sell that too, obviously.
Of course we sell it. Elvis never came because he always wanted to rent the whole place. And my dad, was attitude, oh, screw Elvis, we're not renting the whole place to Elvis.
But you almost had Elvis and the Rolling Stones, but you'll take the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, but we used to send ribs out to his doctor was our doctor, so we would Dr. Nick. So we would send ribs out with Dr. Nick. We do ship our ribs via FedEx all over the country, and they travel well. We ship everything overnight. We're Project Green Fork certified, so we don't use any styrofoam. So we ship it, and again with FedEx being headquartered here in Memphis, it makes it easy for us to do it overnight. And they've been a really good partner for us. And I think only Omaha Steaks predated us in shipping food. Can I tell you about our slaw?
Please do.
My grandfather had a hot dog stand on Beale Street in 1917, and that was the slaw he used to put on hot dogs, and it's mustard vinegar based. And
Yep, that's excellent.
And it's still great on a hot dog. So it's a 100-year-old recipe.
Wow.
And it's got a little zing to it.
It does. It's got a little, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I gave you the nickel tour.
Yeah, no, that's more than a nickel tour. That's great. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys.